and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to El Clasico as Real Madrid take on Barcelona at the Santiago Bernabeu on Thursday. And you know what, guys? This isn't just any Clasico. This is a cup semi-final, and this isn't just any semi-final. It's a two-leg encounter. We have 180 minutes of football here to decide who makes the Copa del Rey final, and can Barça and Xavi somehow find a way of getting a result in this game? Or is this suddenly Real Madrid's tie to lose? We're going to be discussing the form, the feelings, the teams, the predictions. It is all coming up for you. It's a big one. So let's do it. Now ahead of the big one, El Clasico, I am delighted today to welcome a brand new partner to the channel. Really exciting stuff. Introducing Socios.com, official partner of La Liga and Barça. Socios.com is designed to bring you guys closer to Barça, to your favourite team, to become more than a fan through the power of fan tokens. Because no matter where you live in the world, you can have the power at your fingertips to take part in real-life club decisions at Barça, along with experiencing some truly unique rewards. And just have a look here. This was last month, courtesy of Socios.com. Barça fans were able to vote on which piece of Barça heritage to add to the club museum. And this Barça fan token holder, he presented Samuel Eto'o's boots at the Camp Nou. He was there. What an experience that would have been. And that is why right now I invite you guys to just scan the QR code that's on screen. That will take you there straight to the Barça fan tokens website, where you can learn more about exactly what they can do. And you'll want to do that because I'm going to be back very soon to discuss what is coming next for us Barça fans and how you can all be part of it. It's all coming up. So watch this space. Because look, guys, I know that heading into this Clasico right here, a lot of Barça fans have virtually, I would say, no hope in this match. There's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of bad feelings, confidence is low, and I understand all of that. And maybe at the end of this game, after it's all over, I'll have to come back here and say, look, you were right. There was nothing at all to be positive about. But you know me, ahead of a game like this, I'm going to try. Give me a few moments of your time to just attempt to improve the outlook ahead of this game. Because the number one point for me would be, we've already touched on it, it's a two-leg encounter. That is big. That is significant. Because what that means straight away here is that Barça don't need to win this game. We don't need to come to the Bernabeu, get a massive result, a massive win. It's not win or go home. We have two shots at this clash. We got the second leg coming in April. By then you'd hope that we had our full squad available. So what we really need here is a performance, a solid display to keep us in the tie. We don't want to give away anything silly. We've got 100% of our defence ready. There's no injuries there. We can come into this game, be solid, focused, concentrated, and just make sure that by the time we get back to the Camp Nou, we're still in a position to fight for a place in the final. And point number two would be, despite the fact that we are in a difficult run of form right now, aside from the past week, what you would have to say, guys, is that over the course of the season, there have been positive signs. This team, it's not hopeless. They're not all bad players suddenly. If we can find a way to come together, to produce a big performance, there's nothing stopping us here from at least matching what Real Madrid are capable of. Because we can't forget, in the league this season, over 23 matches of play, we're 7 points clear of Real Madrid. We have been better than them over the course of the league season. We have been the more solid, consistent side in the league, and there's no arguing about that. And you don't even have to look far back to January to see what we're capable of. The 3-1 win there should have been 3-0 in the Supercopa. That was a significant win for us. That was a significant performance against Real Madrid when we showed what we can do. Now, I understand that from that lineup, you look at it there, the way that we lined up in that incredible win, we're now missing Lewandowski, we're now missing Pedri, we are now missing Ousmane Dembele, and that is a significant trio to take away from this team, because I don't only think it's not about how good they are as individuals, but also as a collective. They all combine very well with each other. You think about Pedri and Dembele, you think about the way that Pedri also links up with Lewandowski, you take them away, and of course, we do become weaker. Now, we have the past week to look back on. I think it was very much contrasting fortunes for Barça and Real in Europe. Real Madrid had that thumping victory over Liverpool at Anfield. Obviously, Liverpool right now, they're not in a good moment of form either, but it was still all credit to Real. Incredible there to score 5 at Anfield. But for Barça, of course, we went crashing out of the Europa at the hands of United. And then at the weekend, things did not get any better for us indeed. We lost to Almeria. They're a team battling relegation. It was not only the loss, but also the performance. They're one of our worst of the season by a long way. But also, you've got to notice Real Madrid there. They didn't exactly follow up that Liverpool win. They very nearly lost against Atletico Madrid. And Atleti, let's not forget, had 10 men for a lot of that second half there. And they were just minutes away from losing that game. So Real, they're certainly not the most consistent team this season. You don't really know which Real Madrid is going to turn up. Tomorrow, they could be world beaters. They could be the kind of team that took apart Liverpool, that really punished them and were clinical in front of goal. But we have seen them this season have their off days, have their days when they're not quite at it. And if that is the case, we've got to take advantage. Now, speaking indeed about injury problems, we have to be fair here and also highlight that Real Madrid have injuries of their own coming into this game. They are missing their Ferland Mendy at left back and also David Alaba as well. So that leaves Real Madrid stretched in that area, and that is an area that Barca should be looking to target. And although he isn't even available, like I say, for this game, David Alaba, he's had a tough week, hasn't he? He has really been under the spotlight in Madrid, and I find it absolutely incredible that he had to explain his vote there for the best award, that it came out that he voted for Lionel Messi ahead of Karim Benzema. Alaba says, look, it was a national team vote. Everybody there with Austria came together and voted their pick, and you have to go with the majority. But he has certainly come under a lot of criticism and a lot of scrutiny there amongst Real Madrid fans, which, like I say, I find quite staggering. But if we do move on to the starting lineups now and what we can expect from both of these teams, starting with the host Real Madrid, I would expect them to be quite predictable actually in their lineup there. We expect the back line of Dani Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger, and also there at left back Nacho. That is going to be an area, like I say, that we have to look to target. In midfield, Tchouaméni is going to be ready for this game alongside Modric and Toni Kroos. That is a really, really strong looking midfield there, with likely Valverde on the right hand side again, Benzema and Vinicius leading the line. So you know what you're going to get from Real Madrid. There's no massive surprises there, and Xavi should have been able to plan exactly what we're going to be coming up against. For Barca though, things are certainly less predictable. Looking here first of all at the squad list for this game, the good news is that Ansu Fati, he has made it into the squad list at the very, very last minute indeed. He only returned to full training today, so he hasn't had much time to prepare for the Clasico. There's also an appearance there in the squad list for Stanis Pedrola, who has been called up there from Barca B in the absence of Robert Lewandowski, and he joins Alarcon as another forward option if Xavi needs it. And so indeed looking at Barca's potential starting lineup, one of the big questions for me straight away, similar to sort of against Man United, is Araujo going to be at centre-back in this game, or are we going to shift him out to the right-back position? We've seen that plenty of times in previous Clásicos, and I think it's worked well, so I would actually say that most likely, yes, Araujo is going to start at right-back there to try to shut down and really nullify the threat of Vinicius. Koundé inside, we need him to improve on the performance that he showed against United. Christensen alongside him, and Balde then at left back. We spoke about it a lot yesterday. We will need his pace. In midfield, one of the big questions given some of the absences we have, are we going to see Sergio Roberto in that area to maybe try and provide something different? We've seen it before in Clásicos, yes, but is this really the game for him right now? He did not convince anybody, I feel, against United, and I would not put him in that area in this game. I would go with Busquets, I would go with Frenkie de Jong, and Franck Kessie for me would get the nod over Roberto, replacing Pedri in that area. And then up front, is Ansu Fati going to be ready to start this game? I think it's probably unlikely. I think putting him in from the start would be a risk. We haven't seen that with him throughout the season so far. Xavi has always been looking to bring him on later in the game, and if he does come on, he's got to try and have that impact. He really, really does. So I think the starting front three is going to be Gavi from the left, Rafinha from the right, and Ferran Torres down the middle there for Barcelona. And I would just look at that lineup, guys, and I would say to you, a few weeks ago now, how many of those players would have been begging for a chance? How many of those players a few weeks ago would have been knocking on Xavi's door saying, please, give me an opportunity, give me a big game to show what I can do? Well, what I would say now is, you've got one. This is as big as it gets. This is an important game. There is no better time than now to go out there Show everybody what you can do. And so, of course, when it does come down to the big match prediction, I think it's safe to say that this time around, it is very much split ahead of this one. The majority actually going there for Real Madrid to win by 2+ goals. And I even had a few comments, guys, in my prediction poll there, actually saying, why didn't you put the option for more Real Madrid goals? Why didn't you put 3+ goals and beyond? But let me just say, guys, Barca have got to find a way to stay in this game. We can't afford for the game to run away from us. There's no excuse to that, like I say, because look, our defensive setup, it's unchanged. That is the way that we'd want it to look. I know that our attack is stretched. I know that we don't have much creativity in our team right now, but there is no excuse to come here to the Bernabeu and concede 3, 4 more goals. It just can't happen. We have to make sure here we are focused, we are determined, we look at the long-term view of this tie. It's 2 legs. Make sure you're in it back at the Camp Nou. So please, guys, do leave your full thoughts in the comments down below. What are you expecting from this Clasico? Do you believe that Barca can produce a performance? Do you believe that we can stay in this tie? Let me know how you would line up and your score predictions down below. And like I say, do check out socios.com. It's an exciting project going on there and more news on that soon. Thank you indeed for watching today, for tuning in for all of the Clasico build-up. I really, really do appreciate it. And I will, of course, see you after the game. Please, please produce a performance. I'll see you then, guys. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.